Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video about the cold steel Italian longsword. Now this is labeled as Italian, but if you look at the pommel, you can see some pretty clear Gothic influences there. Not to complain though, this is a great blade. It was one of the first swords that I got myself off of Cult of Athena. So with this one, the blade comes out to roughly 35.5 inches, comes out to just about 2.5 pounds. So it is great. Nice balance point. So it is very agile in one hand, and of course being a longsword, you got plenty of room on there for the other hand if you want to really get some nice finesse in there. Now, as a Type 15A blade, this can cut, but it is primarily a thrust weapon. You saw these types of blades really come around once plate armor started becoming a lot more popular, because you needed something that you could maneuver easily to get between the joints of things, still get in there. And so the Type 15A like this is something that you would very commonly see half-sword in. Now, I am not going to grab the blade on this to demonstrate that because I am not wearing any hand protection, and this thing is sharp. It came sharpened, which was nice. I don't personally do much in the way of cutting work with my blades, but it's still nice to know that cold steel can get a decent factory edge on there. Now, I say decent because the factory edge this came with is not the greatest in the world. It is a little bit uneven, and it's just existing, being used for photos and some videos of being swung around at air, stuff like that. It has picked up a little bit of nicking here and there, so the temper on it probably isn't perfect, but you know, for what I use it for, cosplay, showing off, stuff like that, it works just fine. Now, if I had to recommend a good starter longsword for somebody, this would be one of the ones near the top of my list. Comes out to $349.99 on Cult of Athena, so it is a very, very reasonable price for what it is, especially when you look at the fact that you'll find similar longswords going for at least several $100s. This is a pretty good steal. Now, if I had to give any points against it besides the inconsistent edge and a little bit of a brittle edge, which again, not a concern for me, the two big things that I would have to talk about are, first off, the leather wrap on the grip is a little bit loose. I don't know if you can see that bubbling there. Overall, not the end of the world. If you're looking to cut stuff with it, your hand might slide a little bit, but still, it makes me wonder how solid the construction of the whole grip might be if that leather is so loose. The other one that I would bring up is the scabbard. It is a perfectly good scabbard. Seems to be a solid construction. Blade fits into it relatively well. The two big qualms that I have with the scabbard, first off, is the blade gets stuck in there pretty easily. It can be pretty tough to get it out. You're going to need to have a hand on that scabbard holding it still. Even if you've got it fastened nicely to a sword belt or something, that blade is not going to come out on its own. You need to pull that scabbard off. The other one that I would bring up with the scabbard is it's more than a little dull looking. It's just plain black leather with silver metallic throat and chape. Nothing pretty to look at. It gets the job done, but it's nothing special. And yes, this is not the most intricately decorated sword on the planet, but you do have that relatively Gothic-ish, somewhat Italian pommel, which is nice. It is machined well and does look like the pommel and crossguard are machined rather than forged, but you know what? Not the end of the world. This is a blade that has served me really well for the last few years, and if you're looking to get a relatively inexpensive starter longsword, I would definitely recommend taking a look at this one. Again, it's the Italian longsword made by Cold Steel. 35.5-inch blade, roughly 8.5-inch grip, comes out to about 2.5 pounds of weight, and is made out of 1055 steel. Goes again for $349.99 on Cult of Athena, whereas I get all my blades from there, and which is where I got this from. Have a great day.